Bar may not be your first thought when cruising to Montenegro, but there are some definite advantages to being here over the more popular and crowded port. We have our usual port basics and town overview, and we rented a car, again, to explore some of the local highlights. Car rental details and lots of cool surprises in store. Let's get into it. I'm Troy, and this is the Port Lowdown. Bar is a small city in southwest Montenegro. It's part of a small cluster of nations in southeastern Europe known as the Balkans, which includes bordering countries of Bosnia and Herzegovina, Serbia, Kosovo, Albania, and Croatia. Montenegro faces the Adriatic Sea, close to Italy and the North Mediterranean. The country is young, having gained its independence in 2006, but its history goes way back, thousands of years. You'll see this in the sites we'll explore. And the country has become a tourist hotspot, with Kotor being the main cruise tourist draw, as well as the beach resort town of Budva. But Kotor has become over-touristed, so Bar is often an alternate port if Kotor is cancelled. And that's what happened to us. Although it's tempting to regard Bar as an option B port, consider the advantages. First of all, the cruise line will still offer at least a few tours to Kotor, about an hour-and-a-half drive north, or Budva, about 50 minutes north. Second, the area is less crowded and not over-touristed, so you get a more relaxed, less touristy vibe here. You get a real taste of local life. Third, Bar has respectable sites in its own right, from the old town of Bar in the hills to Lake Skadar National Park, the largest lake in southern Europe. You dock just south of the city's marina district, in an industrial area deep enough to handle the large cruise ships. It's no frills at the dock, no terminal. Just a restricted working area that's almost surreal in its emptiness. The ship tour buses meet here, of course. For the independent traveler, there's free shuttle buses to take you on the 5-minute ride to the marina. Either way, you leave on a bus. Wait a second, who's this guy? Arriving at the marina, you come to a curbside setup, which is essentially the main tourist hub for cruisers. Independent tours will meet you here. As well as a battery of taxis. Taxis are cash only in euros and are regulated, but prices vary depending on season. Most people book with specific destinations in mind, hiring a driver for the day. Even the cruise line offers services like this, such as the demand. This website can get you started for independent research as well as a general idea of pricing and identifying official versus unofficial taxis. Rome to Rio also offers taxi suggestions when entering your route searches. And while there is local bus service, it's not time efficient or practical for a visitor. The marina itself has a long promenade where souvenir sellers and tour operators have tents.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Public restrooms, though, are a bit of a challenge. The toilet back here at the yacht club is locked, and it looks like it's for yacht club people only, but it is locked. Maybe it'll be open when you get here, I don't know. Are there any public bathrooms here?
We don't have it.
Okay, so it's all in cafes or whatever?
Yes.
And then you have to pay to go
Nothing to pay.
Nothing to pay? Oh, okay.
Nothing to pay, just ask for the toilet.
There's also a tourist office who can provide some basic info, although many folks are in line for a tourist permit, which you'll need if you're staying longer than 24 hours. By the way, English is a bit limited here with the locals we met, so you might need Google Translate to Serbian, closest language to Montenegrin available. The streets directly adjacent have cafes, shops, and lots of ATMs, especially along this main drag. The currency here is the euro, so you can save time by having some cash on hand before you dock. Credit cards are also accepted in larger businesses, but have cash for taxis for sure. The streets are clean and pleasant, with decent sidewalks and hardly any crowds. It's fun to wander nearby and check out some of the local stores. And I do appreciate the humor with some of the signage. There are a few sites in town, such as King Nicholas Palace and the Church of St. Jovan Vladimir, both within walking distance. But the city is mainly a jumping-off point. Now, given the expense of ship and private tours, we opted, with our mixed generation group, to rent a car. This was a fairly easy choice, as it gave us the most flexibility to explore on our own, on our time frame. Now, within walking distance from the marina, the two closest rental companies are Sunstar and Meridian. However, we decided to give this company a try, Bar Rent-A-Car, that got solid reviews on Google. We used WhatsApp to contact him because it was fast and already encrypted. Feel free to pause this video to check out the whole transaction here on our text. Although sending pictures of our passport and driver's license as required was stretching our comfort zone, gotta admit. It turned out fine, although getting the car was casual, with no real office like you're used to at an airport.
She used Google Translate on the way.
Oh, so she picked you up in her car?
Yeah, since he said that, do you mind if we drive to your, to the car because I am not allowed to park here. So, so we rushed into her car and then you just get out and then turn left. It's kind of like apartment building. We park and then she showed me the car and, I took a quick video of, she showed me all the marking and all those. Did the paperwork, and she explained it to me when I want to pay. I don't have to pay it now, I could pay it later, cash.
Right.
75 euros.
We asked for additional insurance, which we prefer overseas. If anything happens, time isn't spent struggling with formalities while your ship is waiting. You drive on the right here. The roads are in pretty good shape, and the drivers are mostly considerate. You will have roundabouts, as with most places in Europe, and the mountainous roads can be a bit tricky in the towns. You're making sharp left, right?
Okay.
Watch out. Yeah, this is crazy.
You see there's no way we can go to the right?
Also be sure to have some small euros for tolls.
Thank you.
Oh, got coins. But overall, a pretty normal driving experience. So let's cover where we went. First, the old olive tree, about 8 to 10 minute drive east from town center. This is said to be the oldest olive tree in Europe, over 2,000 years. For a small admission fee, you can wander around this amazing looking specimen, pondering that this tree has been nurtured through all of medieval and modern history. The oldest tree in Europe?
Yep. No, that's it.
Really?
Yeah.
In Europe?
In Europe.
Really?
But there's not a lot of old, trees in Europe.
There's also a clean bathroom, a small gift shop, and ample parking. Good for about 30 minutes of pictures and perusing the shop. Next, the old town of Bar on the hillside, about a 6 to 10 minute drive north from the olive tree, along narrow, twisting roads. This medieval town was the original Bar, before a war in the late 1800s and a 1979 earthquake damaged the town and the old fortress. Now, this is the main tourist draw in the area for its handsome old fortress and charming shopping streets.
Is that good? The sesame? Sesame? Is that good? Yeah.
It's also very narrow and hilly, with lots of cobblestones. Pretty rough going for parking, although it's definitely worth the effort to stop here. With the hills and steps, handicap access might also be challenging. The old medieval fortress, in particular, is all uneven, slick cobblestones and slopes. Not recommended for those with mobility issues. These rocks are slippery, so maybe you should find a piece of ground to plant your feet on and bypass the stones if possible. But if you can manage it, it's a surprisingly large and fascinating place to wander. Research and restoration continues to this day here, where you'll find lots of works in progress. The site is also somewhat maze-like, with lots of nooks and crannies, as well as views, to keep you engaged for a solid hour, maybe two. Lots of recommended restaurants line the shopping promenade directly south. Just be ready for some hiking. Next, we decided to take in Lake Skadar, about a 38 to 40 minute drive north from Old Bar. This huge lake borders Albania, with the Montenegrin section and surrounding land designated as a national park. Here you can enjoy lots of activities by boat alongside cafes and hotels. Kind of like a laid-back and less developed Lake Tahoe. Our entry point here was this tiny road surrounded by restaurants, shops, and lots of offers for all manner of lake tours and canoes. Here's a price list from the parking lot. For us, we wanted lunch, and since this hotel, the Andros, included parking with the lunch tab, why not? Plus our group enjoyed the AC in this new hotel complex. Turned out to be a great choice, as the food was fabulous and the service excellent. We asked our waiter for traditional fare, and he was happy to oblige. This is marinated carp.
From the lake.
From the lake. Okay, go ahead.
This is eel.
That's eel.
Oh, this is it.
Ooh.
You
Eel from the lake?
Yes. From the lake, yes. Everything here is from the lake, except sea bass. Sea bass is from the sea.
And that's on a bed of rice, or is that a?
This
rice
is corn.
and
It's corn.
Yes.
Okay.
And
got it.
it's roasted in the oven.
We also took time to take in some cultural immersion via the convenience store, which provided some unlikely souvenirs. This is the other thing my wife likes to look through. Soup mixes from other countries. You can take these home.
And then you
It's
try
also,
to make it.
and then you try to make it, right. Just you Google Translate the package and you'll have a little travel adventure at home.
Yes.
So what are you picking now?
I don't know. It looks like meatball.
What did you pick down here? Paprika?
Right.
So this is like a paprika, right?
Fish soup? Yeah.
Okay. So it's like seasoning.
Yes.
Right.
Should we try this?
What is it?
Because this one is a little bit more, I don't know, meatball soup?
Okay.
Okay, let's try.
The lake, depending on your activity, could be an all-day affair or a solid 2 hours to eat a leisurely lunch, take in the streets, and explore. It took us about 40 minutes to head back south. Once back in Bar, we checked out the Church of St. Jovan Vladimir, a Serbian Orthodox church which is striking from the outside. This church is very recent, built between 2006 and 2016. It's visually stunning inside, the frescoes on the wall still being worked on. You can get a sense of what a new church, long ago, might have looked like, with stunning colors and modern touches to recent history. It took 5 teams of painters just 1.5 years to complete 80% of the painting you see here. And although there's hardly any English at the gift shop, it's still fascinating to check it out. Good for at least a half hour. An hour if you take your time. Before returning the car, we did the standard gas refill, except here it's full service. And dropping off the car was as informal as getting it. Overall, it was a positive experience, despite no office. You get the bus back to the dock from the marina. They run continuously all day. Oh, come back. While no official send-off, the unofficial one is pretty cool. Montenegro is often part of a Mediterranean cruise itinerary. Check out this video on Istanbul, Turkey for another Mediterranean port. And as always, leave a comment with your thoughts and questions. We'll do our best to answer you.